TG, aka Tech Genius, has been an archetype for a while. It has been introduced in Extreme Victory around 2010 or 2011. However, it always failed to be a Synchro active archetype, it mostly was a stun archetype. But with the recent support in Savage Strike, all of that has been changed and it's now an actual Synchro deck, meaning it focuses on huge Synchro boss monsters. So if you're a fan of Synchro decks, this is a video you should watch. So huge shoutouts to Team Samurai X1 for allowing me to do a deck profile on his channel. Make sure to subscribe to his channel and check more of his content out. He makes really great deck profiles. Some would even say the best. Also check out the recent Rivals 2019 Playmat he put out on the store. It's basically a Yusuf Ace Jack Stardust Dragon against Red Dragon Archfiend mat, and it looks really great. You can get it on tsx1.com/shop. There will be a link in the description. Anyways, my name is Atlas Rising, and I mostly do replay videos and combo showcase with decks like the one you're currently looking at. So yeah, if you want to check more content like that out, check the description, there will be a link to my channel. And yeah, don't forget to smash the like button, can we get 1000 likes on this video? Anyways, let's get going with the actual deck profile. First off, we have 3 copies of TG, Screw, Serpent. So this card is really great for multiple purposes. So one of its effects is to revive another TG monster from the graveyard if it gets special or normal summoned. It has to be a level 4 or lower, so you can't revive any of the Synchros. It's quite a decent effect, however the other effects what makes it really great, besides it being a tuner, is that it can banish itself to change the level of a TG monster you control by 1. So lower its level or increase its level. It's actually vital to one of the combos in this deck. Besides that, we run 2 TG Striker. These are important to the warrior side of the deck since they are a warrior tuner, meaning we can summon it with some Sorcerer's Assault. It's a level 2, which is nice. With level modulation, this is perfect actually. 2 is the perfect level for that. And it's a warrior that can be summoned from the deck. It also has an effect that can special summon itself, but like Cyber Dragon, it requires your opponent to have a monster, and we want to go first, so that's not really that relevant, sadly. Another one of the newer monsters we run a 3 of is TG Booster Raptor. So the great thing about this, besides being a level 1, which was actually needed for Archetype, is that it can special summon itself if you control a TG monster. So that's why I run 3 copies, it rarely if ever breaks, so let's say we're doing a combo and we draw this, we can just special summon it and continue our combo with ease. So that's why I like it. So we run 1 copy of TG Tank Grub, so this is a tuner, it's a level 1. Except that it has an effect that allows it to be counted as a non-tuner for a TG Synchro summon. However, there's a negative side to this card. If you revive the Screw Serpent negates effects, and this being a non-tuner for a TG Synchro is an effect, meaning it does get negated. Which kinda limits our plays, but it's still core to one of our biggest combos, so we run 1 copy because we don't really want to draw it. Besides that, one of the main engines in this deck is the Warrior engine. We run 3 copies of Junk Forward. I think a lot of people already know this card basically can normal summon it or special summon it, so if you open 2 copies you can just go in straight to Assault. Which kinda is the goal of this deck. I'll explain the Assault play later in a combo showcase. 3 Neospace Connector and of course the Aqua Dolphin. So basically if you open Neospace Connector you can normal summon it, summon Aqua Dolphin from the deck and go into Assault with just 1 card. Which is the best opening play in this deck. And let's say we have a Junk Forward on top of Neospace Connector, you can normal summon Connector. Try to use this effect and then need to hand trap it, else we can just use Aqua Dolphin to remove a hand trap. But if they hand trap this, like Ghost Ogre, Veiler, Ash Blossom, we can just special summon the Junk Forward. Well, we had to do that before of course, with Junk Forward, but this for example can just be set, special summoned, I'll explain this card later. And then we basically ignore the hand trap. The only hand trap that's really annoying for us is Infinite Impermanence, because this card enables you to discard 1 card, check their hand, and if they control a monster in their hand with less attack than 1 on your field, you get to destroy it. It must be less than 800, but most hand traps don't have any attack at all, so that's why it's really good. It basically counts hand traps. Meaning we don't have to main deck Called by the Grave. Triple the Phantom Knight of Shade Brigandine. So it's a level 4, meaning that combined with the level 1 tuner it can make Hype Librarian, since Hype Librarian is generic. And it's a warrior, so you can just, for those that don't know the card, you can basically set it. And if you don't have any traps in your graveyard, you can just instantly special summon it as a monster. It goes level 4 warrior. So it's basically key for Isolde plays, which once again is our main starter. And to level 4, so with certain hands you can just set it and use tank grips as a tuner multiple times to make multiple librarians, for example. It's really great. 1 reinforcement of the army, search connector, best opener, search any warrior really, so even TG Striker in bad hands, discards the best searcher in the deck. 3 hero kits. So basically if you go via Assault, 1 hero kit will remain on the field, which means we have an additional synchro material. And now it enables us to go into summon sorcery without much effort. Do stay tuned if you don't like hero kit. I will show you a combo without hero kit. If you guys aren't a fan of hero kit, then you can just replace these 3 for Ash Blossoms. I like hero kit, but it's not mandatory. So Assault sends equips to the graveyard, so you run a few cards for that. One of the cards is Divine Sword Phoenix Blade. I think a lot of people know this card. You can banish 2 wives from your graveyard and back to your hand. Combines well with DDR, which we also run. This can ban TG Star Guardian, which is also a warrior, among other cards. A lot of synergy there. As for the bamboo engine, 3 cursed bamboo, 3 golden bamboo, 1 broken bamboo and 2 goods. Yes, I consider these a part of the bamboo engine. So I need to explain this, I think. So for those that aren't familiar with bamboo swords, you have this equip called Broken Bamboo Sword. It says the equipped monster gains 0 attack. So attack increased by 0, so it basically does nothing. However, if you control a bamboo sword equip, you can use golden bamboo sword, which enables you to draw 2 cards. If cursed bamboo sword gets sent to the graveyard, you can add a bamboo sword besides cursed bamboo sword from your deck to your hand. So what this means is that Assault always will send 1 copy of cursed bamboo sword, searching either the golden or the normal bamboo sword. Meaning that Assault instantly makes any of the other bamboo swords live. Now this is where goods comes in. Fully Spiritual Goods sends cursed bamboo from your deck to the graveyard, meaning you can search one of those. This basically turns, in the context of an Assault deck at least, turns goods into a Pot of Desires, without the banishing part. Because it's also hard once per turn, it basically gets you through 2 draws. Because this card turns into Pot of Greed if you control a cursed bamboo equip, or sorry, bamboo sword equip. So you basically run 3 copies of Pot of Greed in this deck. Quite great, makes it so you can easily get your extended combos. So I talked about this card a bit already. DDR, it's an extender, it enables you to do multiple combos. So Screw Serpent banishes itself and this can revive it, meaning that it enables you to hyper extend with certain combos, which is really great. That's basically the main purpose we use DDR. 2 World Legacy Succession and Monster Reborn, I basically counts as the same card for this deck. So what this basically does is that it enables you to revive a monster to your link pointer. And Tided Launcher has 3 arrows pointing downwards, so that's not really hard condition to meet. Monster Reborn just revives anything. It enables us to extend our synchro plays by a bit if we draw any of them, which is really nice. 1 for 1, we can't run more copies of course. The monster we search with Assault is that in our hand anyway, we're not using it, so we can just discard it to summon any of the level 1s from our deck, like Tank Grub or Booster Raptor. Making it really great. And finally, 1 Magical Mallet. So this is a controversial pick, but think about it. We search a warrior with Assault that we don't use. That's 1 card we can shuffle back. And we have the Phoenix Blade, which we don't really use that much. That's another card. So this card alone, after summoning Assault, can get you to shuffle back 2 cards and draw 2 new cards. Those 2 cards were basically dead, so it's basically a Pot of Greed in that aspect. I know it's not as good as Pot of Greed in this deck, but what it also does is it shuffles back bricks if you somehow brick on multiple hero kit. It gives you a second chance to open a good hand. This card saves hands at times. It enables you to draw into World Legacy Succession or Monster Reborn. It enables you to draw into DDR. Yeah, this card basically is underrated. So let's get into the extra deck. The first Link monster we run, or extra deck monster, is Tided Launcher. It's the new Link monster that came in Savage Strike. We run 2 copies because it's really great. So it requires 2 effect monsters, including a TG Tuner, to be summoned. Meaning we can use Isolde and TG Striker, which is one of the combos we'll explain later. This is why you don't need to run Hero Kit, but it's great. When it's summoned, you can special summon in its arrows, so all 3 arrows need to be open, a TG monster from your deck, hand and graveyard. You must choose all 3, you cannot just summon from deck and grave. You need to have a TG in hand, which is a bit annoying. But well, it's really great. This card alone just makes so many synchro plays possible. I'm really glad we got this card. So the next link we run is Assault. I mean, I already said this, it's kind of obvious. By sending 2 equip cards from the deck to the graveyard, mostly Phoenix Blade and Cursed Bamboo Sword, You can summon either Hero Kit or TG Striker from the deck and do a link plays from there. Mostly going into this board, TG Trident Launcher. So there's also Search a Monster or Wire Monster, which you usually use to search a monster you already summoned, since you won't be summoning that turn anyway. And you get sent equipped to the graveyard, which is a plus, and you summon from the deck, which is also a plus. This card gives a lot of pluses, it's really overpowered, it's really strong. It makes a lot of Synchro decks playable at the moment, and that includes TGs. One summon Sorceress, I mean, it's why we run Hero Kit. So basically, when you summon Hero Kit, you get 3 copies out. Use one of them to combine with Assault Kit, summon Sorceress. Summon TG Striker, use one of the Hero Kits, summon Sorcerer, and TG Striker to get the Trident Launcher. That's basically the combo. I will showcase the combo at the end of the video, of course, but that gives you an idea of why we run Summon Sorceress. Once again, you can do it without the Hero Kit, but you don't end the combo with an additional Hero Kit on the field for Synchro plays. It's a bit less good. Double TG Star Guardian, now this card is really great. It's a Synchro tuner, it has a generic actual Synchro effect, meaning you can Synchro in your opponent's main phase. So there's a lot of defense, which isn't that relevant, but it's level 5, which is perfect. We do want to summon level 5s. And when it's special summoned, not Synchro summoned, special summoned, you can add a TG back from your graveyard to your hand. Or shuffle it back into the extra deck if you somehow run out of resources. And once per turn you can just special summon a TG monster from your hand. Yeah, that's right. So it's basically an additional normal summon kinda. Means Screw Serpent triggers off special summon as well, so it doesn't really matter for this deck. It's a really great extender, it's a better tuner than Wonder Magician was, so I run 2 copies. Instead of running 1 Star Guardian, 1 Wonder Magician. 3 copies of TG Hyper Librarian, I mean this card always has been broken, and before this I actually ran a Power Gladiator because I really need level 5 monsters. Guess what? We don't anymore. So now I run TG Hyper Librarian 3 times. Whenever you Synchro summon, while this card's on the field, you can draw a card. This does stack for multiple copies, so you can basically imagine where the whole thing goes. 2 TG Blade Blasters, so this is level 10. It's not that great, but it has a lot of attack, it has a name, it can dodge. It's okay. It's not that bad of a card, and it's level 10 Synchro. It's quite a Synchro monster and a Synchro tuner, but that's not an issue for the deck, since that's all we run basically. And yeah, we just run 2 because sometimes we make 2. It does come up. TG YGOPro Dragonfly, so at first I thought this card was kinda useless, but TG, so I ran it anyway. So the great part about this is that TG YGOPro doesn't send it to the extra deck, it sends to the graveyard to 10 special summons, the Synchro materials. The monster you target with this needs to be a Synchro monster that uses Synchro materials as materials. But basically, what this means is that you get a Blade Blaster in your grave and Halberd Cannon on the field to insert the combos. Which is quite great, it really helps. If you open up a Monster Reborn or World Deck Succession in combination with this and the Halberd Cannon combo, you can easily open Blade Blaster and Halberd Cannon, which isn't that bad. It's quite a decent play, if you ask me. So yeah, the boss monster of this deck, Halberd Cannon. We can relatively easily make this. It's a 2-card combo actually. Yeah, that's right. It is a 2-card combo. I will show you the combo later. And what this does is that once per turn it can negate a summon. This means normal summons and inherent special summons. If they, for example, use Polymerization to fusion summon, we cannot negate it. The monster actually needs to be special summoned by its own effect. Look up inherent summons, or inherent special summons if you want to know what it negates. It floats into a TG monster, so once again makes YGOPro great because we put a Blade Blaster into the graveyard. Meaning YGOPro sets up Halberd Cannon. There are 2 non-TG Synchros, so one of the Synchros we run is Stardust Warrior. So the thing with Stardust Warrior is that it's not a TG and Trident Launcher locks us to TG monsters. But once again they're an actual Synchro deck, so we can just make it in their turn. And at that point this just is able to prevent special summon once per turn. It's like a kind of worse Halberd Cannon, but it's level 10, which makes it playable. We do not run a target for it to float in because we cannot afford extra deck space. But it's still great. And of course the Cosmic Player's Dragon, this card is great, it's underrated. So what this card can do is that once per turn, when your opponent tries to activate a card effect, it can banish and return to the field as a cost. Returning to the field is part of its cost. So let's say you negate an Ash Blossom or something, then you Solemn Strike. Yes, it gets destroyed, but it still goes back to the field because of its the way the card works. Cosmic Player's Dragon is really strong, it's a 4k beater, it can prevent summons as well. Basically negates anything you can imagine. So if you can force out a grind game, this card will win the game for you. So that's the deck. I will now showcase you the combo. So for the combo I'm about to display, you need those 2 cards. New Space Connector and TG Screw Serpent. Keep in mind that you can replace connector with 2 generic warriors, which includes one that can special summon itself. But for the convenience sake, we'll just use connector. So let's show the combo, shall we? So what you do is that you normal summon connector. Then you use connector's effect. This summons Aqua Dolphin from the deck. Now you can discard a card if you open any other cards to check your hand for hand traps, but for this combo we will not. So we send those 2 to the grave to link summon, resulting in Isolde in our extra deck monster zone. At this point we use its effect, which I usually search out connector with. Connector is now dead, since we already use it, we already normal summoned it, we already used its effect. So we usually go for connector. Then we use the other effect of Isolde, sending Cursed Bamboo Sword and Divine Sword Phoenix Blade to the graveyard. We special summon Hero Kid and activate its effect with the chain block with Cursed Bamboo Sword, Golden Bamboo Sword to our hand. Then special summoning the other Hero Kids. Then we go into a link tree. The infamous Summon Sorceress. Use the effect of Summon Sorceress pointed to Hero Kid to special summon a card from a deck. Say hello to TG Striker. Then we link summon. Link summoning Trident Launcher. For the sake of this video I kind of moved the hand. Trident Launcher effect, special summoning Screw Serpent from the hand, Striker from the graveyard, and Tank Grub from the deck. So at this point we control a Hero Kid, a Tank Grub, a Striker, a Screw Serpent and a Trident Launcher. So what we do now is go into the first Synchro summon. So here we have to summon Star Guardian. Use Tank Grub's effect using Star Guardian's effect, so we get a level 1 TG token in attack mode. It has to be in attack mode. It's a level 1 without any stats and it's a machine. Then we can add this back to our hand. Then we use the graveyard effect of the Screw Serpent. We banish it to raise the level of TG Striker by 1. Synchro summon level 5 with the Hero Kit. Go for the Hyper Librarian. At this point we use Star Guardian's effect, special summoning the Tank Grub from our hand again. This token is a non-tuner, and we can Synchro summon level 2 with this. And we all know which one that is. Recipro Dragonfly. We draw 1 card. Doesn't really matter which card at this point for this combo. Synchro summon level 10. TG Blade Blaster. Recipro Dragonfly effect. Sends to the graveyard. Reviving those 2 monsters. And then we can just Synchro summon immediately going for the Halberd Cannon. Or we can wait until their turn. Allow them to do something and Synchro summon for Cosmic Laser instead. Depends on what you really prefer. Now let's say you're in this situation, you are lucky, this card managed to be World Legacy Succession or Monster Reborn, doesn't really matter. You can just use its effect and get back or Blade Blaster, which is quite a nice extension if you ask me. And there's one variation of the combo I want to show you, and that is without Hero Kit. So for the non-Hero Kit combo, let's say you bricked on it, let's say you prefer not to run it, rather run playset of Ash Blossom, which is understandable, not everyone likes Hero Kit. You can go for this play instead. We normal summon Neospace Connector, special summoning Aqua Dolphin from the deck, then it's optional to use the Aqua Dolphin effect. Link to Isolde's effect, adding another copy of Neospace Connector to our hand, Isolde's second effect, send these 2 to the grave, immediately special summoning Striker from the deck, and using Cursed Bamboo to add this to our hand. At this point you can just immediately go for the Link 3. Trident Launcher. Now if you're going for this build you don't even need Summon Sorceress, it saves you additional extra deck space. But you can use something you like yourself. We'll use Trident Launcher effect, special summoning the same monsters almost. Except for one key difference, we are not going for the same exact combo, we are going for Booster Raptor instead. Why is this relevant? Because TG Screw Serpent can revive this one. And that one is still a non-tuner in that case, so you can still use the Synchro Summon. So same setup basically as last time. Synchro Summon level 5. Star Guardian uses its effect. Adding back Screw Serpent this time. Effect of Star Guardian, special summoning Screw Serpent effect. Revives Booster Raptor. Synchro Summon level 5. TG Hyper Librarian, and now we can wait for their turn and use them to Synchro Summon level 10 and Star Destroyer, which is more efficient if you ask me in this case, if the rest of your hand is not useful, or if you want to extend the combos, just go for Blade Blaster. So the huge difference without Hero Kit is that you only get a Blade Blaster, not a Halberd Cannon, so it does, and you don't get an additional draw, so it does make a difference. But the possibility is there if you don't like Hero Kit, which I can imagine, because it's somewhat bricky, I do admit that. Anyways, that's the deck profile and the combo showcase at the end. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to subscribe to Team Samurai X1, hit and smash the like button, check out the Rivals mat. And hey, if you think I like this deck and want to see more decks like this, come visit my channel, you might like it there. Atlas Rising, out.
I feel like Usain in the cheetah print. Talk fresh game, I don't need a minute. R.I.P. the game, I need a minute. Okay, let's proceed with it. I'm in the house, got the deed with it. These bozos always sneak this and they taking shots. I'm a king with it. Like, no, this league business.